It's time for the next generation of leadership.
With that, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell announced he would relinquish the role he's long held, creating an opportunity for the Lone Star State senior lawmaker in the upper chamber, John Cornyn. Cornyn, who some had speculated might be considering retirement, has announced he will seek the leadership, a message which triggered a shot from one Ken Paxton, who tweeted, "It will be difficult for Cornyn to be an effective leader since he is anti-Trump, anti-gun, and will be focused on his highly competitive primary campaign in 2026. To which Cornyn replied simply, quote, "Hard to run from prison, Ken." A reference to the Attorney General's upcoming trial on felony security fraud charges. Panel, fair to say, shots fired. I'm going to go to you, Holly.
Oh, goodness, put me on the spot first. Yeah, shots fired for sure. You know, Cornyn, he has his detractors, and there are plenty of people within the Republican Party, especially in this very strange primary season, who seem to be single-issue voters over the impeachment of Ken Paxton, who don't like Cornyn very much. But the reality is he remains popular with a lot of voters. He won his last primary by 76% of the vote. And, you know, the head of the party in the Senate is a vote counter. He's not necessarily an ideological purist or anything like that, but he's got to have the job of herding cats and trying to get to that 51 number, and sometimes that involves some compromise. A lot of people don't like McConnell, but he's actually done a pretty good job as the minority leader, and kudos to him for getting Trump's Supreme Court nominees in place. So, you know, this will be an interesting fight. We'll keep watching in 2026 for sure.
Bill King has cast his intel net. What are you hearing?
I hear he's highly likely to get the majority leader position, or minority leader position, maybe majority leader after the next election. Look, this is a hugely important thing for the state of Texas. The last time we had a majority leader, I think, was Lyndon Johnson. Isn't that right?
Exactly. Yes.
And if you want things like the Ike Dike to be built, for example, you know, it would really be nice to have a majority leader from the state of Texas. But Holly's right. Paxton's clearly going to challenge him. He'll have a tough time in the primary. And can you imagine this? Let's just assume that Republican primary voters vote him out and vote Paxton in, and then assume Paxton wins, which I think is questionable. Then you go and you trade a person who's the majority leader, who can influence incredible policy outcomes for the state of Texas, for somebody who will be a backbench, you know,
rock
BSer guy from that would be the worst thing possible in Texas. But I could easily see the Republican primary voters doing it.
Okay, you know, which makes what's happening on Tuesday pretty important. You know, if one side wins, the Cornyn side of the Republican Party certainly takes a back seat.
If Speaker Phelan survives, if a number of our state reps have been attacked survive, then that doesn't say much about the influence that Ken Paxton had. One very authoritative Republican told me she's not voting for anybody that Ken Paxton endorses.
Okay, hey,
somebody you know.
10 seconds. I got 10 seconds.
Hello.
Yeah, very quickly. I'm disturbed by Mitch McConnell saying it's time for the new generation of leadership, and then we're talking about the same generation of leadership.
There's a few years.
Same pot, different part of the stove.
Hey, you're getting there pretty